Hello everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here.
It's everywhere and nowhere.
So today I'm here to review a very interesting movie. A movie that takes on a live-action adaptation of one of the most cult of all classic styles of animation. Of course, that is the style of Japanese anime. We, here in the United States, know a lot about it if we are big fans, but not many of us in the mainstream really know much about anime. There have been many attempts to actually bring anime style to the film world in terms of movies like the Wachowskis' Matrix and their live-action adaptation of Speed Racer, both of which I adore. And then we have some big flops like the live-action adaptation of one of the most legendary of animes, Dragon Ball Z in Dragon Ball Evolution, starring Justin Chatwin. We will go no farther than that. But today we're going to talk about Ghost in the Shell, of course based on the 1995 anime film, which is also based on a manga series that came before it, and starring a cast including Scarlett Johansson, Juliette Binoche, Hilo Asbeck, and Michael Pitt from Boardwalk Empire. This was a movie that I was really excited to see because one of the few things about Ghost in the Shell is it's been a long time since I've seen the anime film, but what I remember about it was just a beautiful display of everything that your senses can possibly embrace. A story of a future where humans are pretty much cyborgs due to cybernetic enhancements to help them live their more complex lives in an ever-changing world in the future. And this time around, in a live-action adaptation, oh my goodness, if there is one major positive that can be taken away from this live-action adaptation of Ghost in the Shell, it's how much of a treat it is for the senses. The city is gorgeous. The CGI effects are fantastic. The action sequences using bullet time as well as practical effects is absolutely mind-blowing, and probably the coup de grace that makes this film such an amazing movie to just be a part of is the brilliant score from Clint Mansell. I am so angry that this soundtrack is not available on CD because I have heard some amazing soundtracks in almost the last 20 years, especially coming from artists like Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross's Social Network, to Tron Legacy's soundtrack, of course written by Daft Punk. I'm actually quite surprised that Daft Punk was not tapped to do Ghost in the Shell, but Clint Mansell, he brought it, and he brought it big. It's a beautiful soundtrack that really drives the movie along with all of the other big positives of this film. The acting is solid too. Scarlett Johansson I knew would be a great person to fill the role of Major, even though there's a lot of controversy as to the fact that this is a white girl playing a person that's probably Asian. Let's just know that the man who directed the original film, as well as the person who wrote the manga novels, said that they wanted Scarlett Johansson to play the role of Major. So suck on that, liberal left. Anyway, I also love the acting as a whole. I thought that Batu was a great character. I love Juliette Binoche as Dr. Olay, and Michael Pitt as Kuze was a very good villain, especially considering the fact that if you know anime, you always realize that it's never just black and white. You never know who truly is the villain and who truly is the hero. But one of the few things that I would say would probably be the downfall. Actually, it's two things. One is the plot. I found it to be a very predictable movie. There were a lot of things that occurred in the movie that I just said, I know that this is going to happen. There was just no major surprise in regards to what I watched in this movie. Even though I had seen the anime film, I was definitely still expecting something to make me really be shocked and surprised. But there were still some great emotional things that still made me enjoy the movie overall. And also one of the other negatives in this movie is the fact that, you know, this is a genre of film that not everybody is going to love, and not everybody gets it. But with this movie, they really dumbed it down to make the plot very easy to follow. I'm all for an easy-to-follow plot, but a movie like this, which could definitely add so much more depth to the story and to the characters, I was a little bit underwhelmed over the fact that we didn't get something like that. I guess they were just trying to fill the seats and just get people to actually enjoy the whole style of cyberpunk and science fiction fantasy in the art of Japanese storytelling. But there were some moments in the movie that came right out of the anime, and it was just so cool to see some of these things up front and in live action. And overall, I had an amazing time at the theaters. This is just one big piece of amazing sci-fi eye candy. If you are a fan of the anime film, you will definitely enjoy it. If you're not someone who likes anime, you may not enjoy this movie at all. You might just fall asleep and find it boring. But I enjoyed it thoroughly. I plan to see this movie numerous times, and yes, I will be adding this movie to my DVD collection. I'm hoping to also add the soundtrack to my CD collection if and when it ever shows up in retail. I say go see Ghost in the Shell because it's one of those movies that we have movie theaters for a reason. I'm giving Ghost in the Shell 3.5 out of 4 stars. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Put your comments in the box below, and let's discuss Ghost in the Shell, and I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.